Chair and members of the committee. On the 24th of December, a couple representatives from the properties and my inspection unit brought this building and the pictures, engineer's report and current pictures. I believe they're included in your packet. I don't know if you have them in color, and I don't know what their resolution is, but based on the observations of the inspectors in the department that have looked at it and these photographs of the current condition, we had a building that was actually in the process of showing stresses in collapse.
Can I stop you for just one quick second?
Sure.
I have a letter that was included with our packet from the Kennedy Law Group that provided the structural inspection, copies of the structural inspection report, and then some additional photographs, which, does this look like it's your...
It does.
Okay, so this one. These are the ones that you're referring to, or these?
There should be 3 full-size photographs,
yes.
And then you should have some additional photographs.
Correct, yes, that is what
That
we
would
have.
be the packet I'm referring to, yes.
Okay. And so these were presented to you on December 24th. Is that correct?
Yes, in the morning of the 24th.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. The structure collapse is shown. I don't. They're not numbered, so I'm not exactly sure if you're going to be able to follow where I'm at. So.
And looking right here, you can...
That works.
All right. This section of the roof, which I'm pointing to here, is where is what had collapsed, I believe, on the 23rd when that was placed. This second picture. That, by the way, is the northeast corner. The second picture is another shot from a different direction, showing an opening side of the roof. In addition to that, the southwest corner had suffered major damage. Now, I don't know if you have this photo or not.
No, I don't believe so.
All right, this was a photo that was taken previous to the collapse of the northeast corner and part of the work that was going to be replaced. Based on the condition of the property and then current photos as of December 7th from Avtech Structural Consulting, it was obvious that this building was already in a minor state of collapse. This photo here, and I believe you have it in black and white, you can see the breakage of this roof ceiling member here. It shows between where the fire had charred the members. And additionally, the supporting system for the roof holding the lower section or the attic floor had areas missing in it, and they were gone. The progressive collapse of the structure could have happened based on the additional loading of the snow in that pending storm that was coming in. The structural engineer had pointed that out in his report, actually, which was filed prior to the additional collapse, and looking at the fact that we had a snowstorm coming, we had missing collar ties holding our roof. The roof works as a component, so as both sides of the roof loads, stresses are placed on the lower cord. The lower cords were actually gone or broken. After the roof was gone, we were actually, this part of the structure here in the northeast corner was actually existing just from the shear stress on the nails. Yep, we had no offsetting section of roof to deal with the opposing forces, and we had nothing left from the attic floor, keeping that in place. The basic engineering factors used for the pull-out of nails when rafters are nailed into a member is actually 0. They give them no credit at all. It's a matter of time for that to come down. And it would be that, the bringing of that load, plus any additional snow loads that would have then caused the attic floor to fail, and going down onto the second floor, which you have photos of, the condition of that member, bringing it down to the first floor. The structure was really being supported a lot by the integrity of the stucco of the exterior. You can see a crack across this point in the exterior stucco. If you look straight down this line, you'll also notice that the wall is already traveling out of plumb above the crack, and it's moving in this direction. Below the crack is coming out the other direction. Failure of that wall would have pushed part of the structure, out. It wouldn't have collapsed into itself. It would have, with standard balloon framing, failure would have caused that wall to collapse outward away from it. So, based on that information, I made the decision to determine this to be a hazard, and therefore took the building down before it was in a controlled situation, rather than allowing the structure to fail in an uncontrolled fashion.
Thank you, Mr. Higgins. Is there questions of Mr. Higgins? Mr. Mack?
I'm curious what kind of communication you had with the preservation staff, either on that day or prior to that day, because these concerns were evident, but I'm just curious whether there was any contact. You notified the preservation staff that you were going to do this?
I did notify the preservation. Is this working?
Yes.
All right. I did notify the preservation staff that morning. I was not aware of the current condition until they brought it to my attention on the morning of the 24th.
So after looking at the report and the information you had,
right. When the decision was made to declare the building a hazard, I notified preservation staff that was on that day, and then also copied the director in my email.
okay, Commissioner Anderson.
I'd like to ask, what's the status of the debris? Is it cordoned off and retained, or is it going? What's the time frame? When is the removal of the debris?
Right now, the structure is down to the grade level, and the debris is contained within the area where the building stood, and it is fenced. So my understanding is the company was going to start to remove the debris on Monday
Of this week?
of next week.
Of next week.
Yes.
And can you describe for us and the members of the audience in this particular type of situation where the burdens lie in terms of cost, in terms of removal, in terms of responsibility for the materials on site? Help us kind of frame kind of what happens now, who's responsible, and what are the steps that proceed from here.